Yeah, forgot to hit the go live button. Yes, and I see I'm all sitting here all by myself, and nobody's watching. Okay, there's one person. Who might that be? Is that you, Dennis? Everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy. You're the only one. Well, we'll see how that should change. Did did my intro play? I hit the button for it to play, but I might not have been on live stream at the time. Huh? Oh, did you want to see it? I think you've seen it before, so it's the same thing, and so unfortunately, you're the only one watching. So yeah, what's this? Oh, you do want to see it? Well, I can do that. Hold on a second. And Song Tower, drone Charlie Delta Charlie, holding on pad 1, requesting clearance for departure for live show. Charlie Delta Charlie, Song Tower, you are cleared for live show takeoff. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. So, who else is there? I see there's two people, so sound off. So I did a live show when I was when we were in Krabi. It was interesting. I posted it through YouTube. This is through StreamYard. And it was it was a little bit rocky. There was a few technical glitches that I didn't know, and hopefully next time I do it, it'll be a little bit better. Um, you know, we took the motorcycle, and and Kantai did all the filming, and I had my remote microphone, and so I did all the talking. We drove around Krabi, which was absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, when we first started, I couldn't get the camera to go in landscape, and so there's a preview out there somewhere, but it's a little silly because I'm looking at the screen trying to figure out how it works. But it didn't show the actual live show later, which was I thought would still be there. Yeah, we drove all around Krabi. We drove down to the beach. We showed you all the mountains, and it was pretty cool. I've been watching some of our other guys from my line channel. They're doing live shows, doing the same thing, walking around the town and this and you know it, uh, it's not bad. I was I was in Chiang Mai last week. We dropped off our friends the from the wedding. My friends Mead and Tammy came for 4 weeks. Um, yeah, that was a wonderful experience, and not always a wonderful experience because again we had to share one bathroom, so it was a exercise in patience, and we got through. We're all adults, and so we got through it, and it worked out pretty well. But and they came to Krabi with us, and we had a wonderful time. And they had some of their times alone. We had some of our times alone. Some of my videos will show that we sort of split up, which is fine, which is good. The few videos that are out right now are climbing that ridiculous mountain. um, it's the Tiger Cave Temple, 1,270 steps plus a few more steps at the top. Basically, 1,300 steps. It was a challenge just to do that climb, and when you got to the top, that was you just considered it an achievement. But the video is pretty good. It's short, which is fine too. But yeah. Good morning, Lance. I know your first name. So yeah, Lance has made that climb himself. He was talking that it was. He wish he had gone earlier in the day. Well, when we went up, it was a little overcast, and it was still warm. Of course, it's we're in Thailand, so it doesn't matter. It's warm. But at any rate, it's a grueling climb. There's no doubt about it. My friend who's Mead, he made it halfway. Actually, you can see in the video where he's come at the halfway up the stairs, and Katai's even farther down. She's surprisingly doesn't climb stairs that well. Although she's game, she made it to the top like me. But Mead was like, well, he got to that platform there, and he just said, "Well, I think this is as far as I'm going to go." And it wouldn't surprise me how many people do say the same thing. It's like, because you get halfway up. I mean, that's I kept I kept I kept climbing that mountain, and I kept thinking of Mount Everest, wondering if I'm going to come across a dead person that just didn't quite make it to the top. So, but no, there was no bodies halfway up, or even to the top. So just just a bunch of exhausted people, and of course we were told at the bottom that there would be water, and so we didn't think of bringing water bottles up. But at any rate, we got there, and the water, it was a water line that was going through a filter system so that you could drink it, but there was no water going to it, so there was basically no water at the top. So yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment. Now, mind you, there was one gentleman, I believe he was from uh, I think I said it in the, was it Tahiti, something like that. And he actually gave me offered me water, which I thought was very, very generous. So yeah. Good morning, Tammy. I looked at the other trail at the Tiger Cave Temple, the Marks Trail. Yes, Tammy took the easier path that I'm sure everybody else wish they had done. So, and she's posted quite a bit of her little adventure on her Facebook channel. So if you get a chance, you can check her out. But at any rate, yeah, it was a grueling climb. It was just one step after a step. You didn't look up, you didn't look down. You just put your mind to it. Well, when you consider what 5 months ago I had a heart attack, and it's not bad. I seem to be I seem to be doing pretty good. In fact, on those points there, I went to the cardiologist after our honeymoon, and he did another echocardiogram, and lo and behold, my heart output is actually up to 48%, which a normal person of my age, probably between 50 and 70, or even younger. A normal output of a normal person's heart is about 55 to 60%. So up to 48%. That's pretty impressive, and I'm pretty pleased with that. And of course, the question is, how does that happen? How does your heart, where you first came to Thailand a year ago with a heart output of 25%, how does it go from 25% to 48% in a year? Um, is this the magical land? Well, to a lot of us that live here, yeah, it is the magical land. But I personally feel that the reason has to do with medication that I was taking before I came to help control my arthritis. And for those that don't know, I have psoriatic arthritis. Uh, good morning, Les. Quick hi before I go help out a friend. Well, thanks very much for dropping in and saying hello. I'm looking very much forward to seeing you in just over a month. And yeah, so drive carefully. I saw you did some work on the car. Yeah, we did the same thing in our car before we did our month-long trip. So glad it's in good shape, good and safe. Drive carefully. You have a wonderful, wonderful time in northern Thailand, and we will see you in a month. Um, Back to the health. Back to my health. Uh, so yeah, I'm saying the problem was because of medication I was taking. Yeah, I took a very potent injection every week called methotrexate, and the methotrexate was for my psoriatic arthritis. And when I came to Thailand, I couldn't get a prescription for that. I couldn't buy it over the counter. I had talked to my cardiologist. He said, if you really want it, I can arrange to get it. And I decided, well, you know what? I'm not going to bother. We're going to see how it goes. Um, and the great thing about being in Thailand, you're not experiencing winter, which some of you are starting to experience now. This would be my second winter that I'm missing. Oh, I feel so bad about that. Not. But at any rate, so I just stopped taking that medication. And now methotrexate is a very potent muscle relaxant designed to stop inflammatory in your joints so that you can walk, you can do things. And my biggest problem is I have a problem with my hands. The strength of my hands are just not there anymore. But I just decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to see how it works, and because being here in Thailand, it's not that bad. I also have another medication. I can get it here over the counter called Volterra. There's in Canada, it's an actual prescription called Declofenac, also a very potent painkiller, anti-inflammatory. So I have those, but I make an effort, as my doctor says, you should try not to take any more, as much as you need. And so I just take it when I really feel it. I might take one, maybe two a week. So consequently, here we are a year later, and my heart output has gone from 25% to 48. Now, to put things in perspective, 6 months before I came to Thailand, I had an echocardiogram and I was at 31%. So in 6 months, it dropped from 31 to 25. It was really telling me that, well, you're in big trouble. You don't really have that many years to live, because as it drops, they say once it goes below 20%, they actually say that you have a 3-year mortality rate. 75% people die within 3 years. So yeah, I'm thinking, okay, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. So I'm about to. I just made that decision. You can't give up. Can't give up your dreams. So my dream was to come here, and here it is a year later. A year later, and I've been in Thailand. It's been an amazing experience. Gone through a whole lot of stuff. I'm living in Chiang Mai for 6 months. Of course, I met my beloved, and we've been together ever since. In fact, she's the one who informed me that the other day, says, it's our anniversary from the day we met. And I went, yeah, okay. She's going to learn that I'm terrible, terrible for dates. I mean, the other day I had to look on my phone to find out that it was Sunday. Well, I'm retired, for crying out loud. Hey, Jake. Thanks for dropping in. I'm retired. I'm not supposed to worry about what time it is or what date it is, and that's the beauty about being retired, and being retired here in Thailand. So at any rate, at any rate, so I just I've been jotting down little things. So marriage. So the marriage happened a month ago, and we had a traditional wedding, and we did the video. So for those that haven't seen it, please tune in and enjoy. It was a real experience. We decided to do it traditionally. We decided to do it right, and follow all the traditional uh, um, things that they do here in Thailand. And of course, being in this village, Katai's been here all her life, and I personally call her the princess of the village. And so, I mean, before we got married, a couple of, probably a week, 2 weeks up until the date, her and I would go around on the motorcycle, and we would visit everyone in the village, one or two people each night, and she would invite them to the wedding. And of course, they get to ask her specific questions, and they get to look me over, because, well, I just sit there and nod my head and some saudi cup, saudi cup, saudi cup. And so basically, the wedding turned out pretty amazing. We had 176 people there. The whole village came out to see her marry a foreigner. And you know, during the reception, we would walk around, and we would literally speak to everyone. We would say hello to everyone, and I would, and shake their hand and say thank you for coming, and they genuinely enjoyed themselves, and the food. Wow. Uh, my brother-in-law, he arranged the food, a caterer to come in. It was total cost of 30,000 baht, which is actually probably $1,500 Canadian. And there was like I think 6 different dishes, just tons of food. It was just amazing, and it was all good. Everyone had a wonderful time, wonderful time. So yeah, you know, so, like I say, I've been here for now a year. We lived in Chiang Mai for 6 months. We had to outfit the house. There's a video on outfitting the house. Of course, when we moved back here, I just, all the furniture, everything that I purchased for the house in Chiang Mai, of course, belonged to me. So I had it all shipped here. There's a video on that too. And of course, coming here, we decided, living on the second floor, I wanted to do something with the balcony that was just incredibly hot, where the sun would come around to the back of the house. And it was just a wasted space, 36 feet. Um, I guess what's that, 12 meters, of wasted space that just was in the late afternoon, was just so hot you just didn't want to go out there. And so we spent a little bit of money. I arranged the builders while I went back to Canada for the 3 months to basically sell all my assets, which didn't work out the way I planned. That's another story. And we had the loft built. I call it the loft. We were trying to come up with a name. So exactly, basically 2/3 of the balcony has been transformed into an absolutely gorgeous room. The work, the quality of the work, considering that these guys came and did everything with a skill saw. I don't even know if they had a jigsaw, and a skill saw, hammers. They had a little portable compressor with a 18 gauge nailer, and yeah, what they did is just short of spectacular. Yeah, and then we had our local girl that does painting and painted the inside of our rooms. We had her come, and she stained everything, and so it's finished. Electricians came, all done, and it is an absolute spectacular room, and we've really been enjoying it. But the thing is, that's been all these things that have been going on. The time just flies by like crazy, and it's been a whirlwind. There's just been so much going on. So yeah, no, the birds are gone. We would come in, we'd leave the windows open at night, and a bird was decided to come in and start making a nest on my lazy boy chair. So apparently we went away for our holidays, and when we came back, it was I was told by my mother-in-law that a full bird's nest was made, and a and an egg was there. So I didn't ask her what she did. It was all clean, so I just best to just say thanks. Hello, Mary. Thank you very much for the congratulations. I'm glad you enjoyed watching it, and I'm so glad you tuned in. Um, for those that are starting to experience winter, not that I want to rub it in, but it is starting to get cooler here. Cooler meaning the temperature this morning dropped down to a very brisk, beautiful 21 degrees. And like I say, we're into December, and probably here in northern Thailand, and probably by the end of December, that temperature will probably drop a little cooler, probably drop down to 15 degrees. We no longer. I don't have the air conditioner on right now. Last time I did a live show, the air conditioner was on. In fact, it's just this last week we've started to sleep now. We have the windows open, and there's a very nice cool breeze that flows through the bedroom. And yeah, so now the air conditioning is, well, for the next couple of months, we won't use it as anywhere near as much. So, and of course, the daytime temperature will still climb to, 30 degrees, 31 degrees. The beauty about it is the humidity. The humidity is starting to drop, so it makes for a very comfortable environment, even in through the day. So and of course the rain has stopped. There's no more rain, and that's again gives us more opportunities for on the motorcycle, getting out, enjoying the beautiful weather. One of the interesting things about the rainy season stopping, and now the weather being better, is we're in the middle of um, growing. The growing season has they try to do two harvests. So we're right in the middle of the two harvests, and Basically, how it works in the rice fields is, of course, they flood the fields, they seed. I don't know if they seed first or flood the field, but they flood the fields, and of course, so the fields all have water in them, and the rice grows. And when they're ready, they drain the fields, and a harvester, very much like our harvesters in Canada, will go through and cut the stalks and collect the rice. And you can see around all over the villages and so forth. You drive along and they've got big tarps laid out, and I haven't taken a video of it, and I apologize for that. But they take big tarps, lay it out, and they lay out the rice for it to dry. But they've drained the fields, and now the fields are drained, and when they let it dry out, and then they burn them. They burn the fields, and it's a common knowledge that here in Thailand, we have a smoky season, which is basically starts end of February. March and April are smoky season area. A lot of people that can afford it will go south to the southern part of Thailand, and escape the smoky season. We did that last year. We went for almost all of February. We traveled down south and we got away from the smoky season. But what I'm saying is, what I didn't realize is, yeah, they burn the season, they burn the fields in between the harvest. Now they don't do a massive burn like obviously they do in February, but you're driving along and you just see the fields, all fields up in smoke. Just yeah, they do the same in Surin, but no burning. So that's interesting. But at any rate, yeah, it was something I didn't expect. And so there's a haze. There's a smoky, it's a smoky thing. Now I suspect, like I say, we're by the end of December they'll be back planting again because there's enough water and so forth to do a second harvest. So that's what they'll do. In Chiang Mai, the uh, the water management that Chiang Mai has is pretty amazing. They actually get some places they get 3 harvests in, which is pretty amazing. So, but yeah, it's interesting. In fact, I've got a few videos on water management, and I'm going to do more because I just find it's interesting to see how Thailand controls their water, so that they have enough water to supply the people and to supply the fields during the dry season. Because we're basically talking from now, you know, the end of November to the end of April, 5 months of no rain. So that it's pretty amazing how they can control the water sources and make sure that they can still flood the fields. Some amazing canals. There's a side road that's I'll be doing a video soon for those motorcycle enthusiasts. I'll be doing um, a video on changing my bags. I'll get to that in a moment. But I'm going to do a little follow with the drone down this road that's a really nice road just nearby. Uh, you know, it's not super curvy, but it's a really nice country road. But the neat thing about the that road is right beside it is of course a canal. And you see these canals all along roads all the time in the villages, but this particular road is running alongside of the hills, the foothills of the mountains, and so parts of the canal is actually cement walls, and it's an actual aqueduct. I've driven by it a few times, going, I'm going to do a video on that because the cool thing is this canal will go over a ravine and it becomes an aqueduct where it's literally you could walk underneath it and the water goes underneath. And this thing has been there, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 years. A lot of it's overgrown, but I mean it's still functional. I'm gonna do a video on that because, like I say, I think the amazing control management that Thailand has is pretty amazing. So I'm going to continue to do videos on reservoirs and so forth. And if you enjoy that sort of thing, you'll tune in. If not, you'll wait till I do another motorcycle video, which seems to be the most popular topic. So, but anyway. Anyone got any other got any questions? Shoot them out, or because I'm still just basically chatting away. Just last week, I did a computer upgrade to my laptop. It was my editing program, which is pretty extensive program, and it's all internet based. Uses a fair amount of space, and of course, I'm trying to edit, and the thing would stop, and I'd be basically yelling at it. It was starting to drive me crazy. So I went. I had planned on going in when I went to Chiang Mai. I had planned on going to the computer place where I bought it and have them change the hard drive to a larger hard drive. But that didn't work out. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it. Um, so just last week, I said that's it. I checked into Praia, our little city that's 40 kilometers away, and I found a little place called Advice. Went there. It was a really nice little computer spot. Went in and I had a new hard drive installed. The hard drive that's in the computer right now is a 500 gig hard drive, which is, when you look at it, it's completely red, which is no good. That's the problem. There's the computers it's just loaded, so that's why it doesn't work. So they added a 1 terabyte hard drive, which worked out really, really well. And that was 3,600 baht. And I talked to my stepson in Canada, and he says about the same price. Interesting, about the same price. They installed it, and it worked. It makes quite a difference. Also, I went back the next day, and I had them double the RAM from 16 to 32. So yeah, so now I'm the last editing. It still freezes up mostly, but it's not the computer's fault this time. I use a external hard drive, which is also now full. So I'm going to need to, invest more money in another hard drive. Part of my problem with that hard drive is I have my movie collection on it of about 500 movies. And yeah, no, it is a solid state, Jake. It is a solid state drive. Oh yeah, both of them are solid state. So no, not a mag drive. You know, I'm surprised that you can. I don't know. Can you even get a mag drive anymore? Yeah, listen to me talking tech. 65 years old talking tech. But no, I just lost my train of thought. So yeah. Um, Maybe a drink of coffee and bring it back to me. No. So yeah, the hard drive. I have all my movies. I'm a movie buff. We don't watch much here, but we do. We do. We just finished watching Hawkeye, and but and again, all on my hard drive. So because of that hard drive, which is a 4 terabyte hard drive, which is a mag drive, by the way, it's a external plug-in hard drive. Because it's full, the computer has to talk to that, and so it's racing around. And I may look into. I don't know if they have Jake. Do they? Do they have a external SSD hard drive? I would imagine they do. So I might have to look into that. And I would think once I get that hooked up to my software, that should solve the problem and it should flow pretty good. Another thing is my files. Les told me, and he's gone now. He's getting ready to go and help someone out. Um, yeah, that's retired, living the dream. Um, the Again, oh boy, just lost that too. Um, we are definitely getting old. Ah, 35 minutes in and five people still putting up with me. That's nice. No, so um, yeah, watched CJ in Paradise he was in Bangkok yesterday and he did put out a nice little video. Check out his channel, CJ in Paradise. He was up in the tallest building in Chiang Mai or in Bangkok, the Nikon Macon building. Last year or last February, Katai and I went and stayed at the Bioke Hotel, which at one point was the tallest building in Bangkok. So now apparently that's so he did some nice drone work, and it looks really good. So check him out. Yes, you can get a hard drive. I carry it when I travel. Bought it at Costco for $100. Okay, for those that are here over in Thailand, that would be, you know, uh, we have Shopee and we have Lazada. Basically, Costco. I'm sorry, Costco. Yeah, our Costco's here. Macro. I did a video when we were in Macro, but I don't. They don't exactly have. They don't have exactly everything that the Costco's have in Canada, but it's basically laid out the same way. We go there once a week. Thanks, Jake. Big C. I've gone to the big C's there in Clare, and I keep saying we got to stop in and check that out. I mean, I've been when we were in Chiang Mai, we went to the Big C quite often. In fact, I bought lots of stuff there. Never went to the macro, but here in Pair, our weekly trip to macro is is a main staple of getting all of our weekly food and so forth. I will go and check that out because, like I say, it's obviously the next step because I don't really want to erase my movies. I do have there's online things that but I don't bother with Netflix. I don't bother with Amazon or Disney. I used to, and I probably at some point will again. But right now, I've got enough going on in my world that, I don't need it. I don't need it at all. But I don't really want to throw all my old movies away. So it's on that hard drive. So yeah, Jake, I'm gonna look into that SSD hard drive and see what they cost and probably buy one for that would be specific for my editing program. Oh, so just before just before we left on the holidays, I ordered from Shopee, my side bags for my ADV. Um, I was in Chiang Mai, and we have a place we go to in Chiang Mai called the Helmet Shop. They looked after all of our gear and everything for the ADV. Well, for the Forza when we were in Chiang Mai, but they suffered from the flood, But when we got back, they were basically up and running again. And we went in, and I was looking for the side bags. Now I talked to them before the flood, and said I wanted the side bags. He had them, but he didn't have the brackets. He said he would send me the information, and he could send me everything, and and I never heard from him, obviously, because there was a horrific flood there. So when I got back and he was back operating, I went and saw him. He said he went online to see about the brackets, and he found a pretty good deal on Shopee. So he said, I can't give you a better deal than that. So that's what you should. That's what you should go with. So I ordered them from Shopee, and they were 8,600 baht for 8,600 baht for the two side bags. They are shad bags. They're not the real big ones. I think middle sized ones. 8,600 baht with the brackets. I'd have to figure that out in Canadian funds, but probably maybe 175, 200 dollars. But yeah, I've seen your video on the shad back and side bags. I basically have the same ones. So at any rate, they showed up just before we left on our honeymoon. And actually, no, it was just before we were back from the honeymoon. It was just before we went back to Chiang Mai to drop off Tammy and Mead. So I haven't installed them yet. I'm planning on doing that fairly soon, and I will do a video. Of course, I'll do the video on that, and also the follow. I'm going to try the following of the motorcycle with the drone. I haven't done that yet. So but we're going to do that because we're planning, even though we're not planning on doing a whole lot for the next month or two. We are thinking we're going to go to the city of Nan for New Year's, and and mind you, uh, we better be making reservations for a place to stay if we're going to go. But we're going to take the motorcycle. That's the plan. That's the plan, and it's. That always has been the plan, is get out and travel with a motorcycle. I'm very, very fortunate that Katai is just fine. She just climbs onto the back, and she enjoys the scenery, and I barely know that she's back there. Mind you, she's only 94 pounds. So just before the wedding, my best man Mead, I said, we're going to get a haircut. And I said, we're going on the motorcycle. So he climbed onto the back of the motorcycle. Now, you've seen Mead. Mead's 6'1", and he's 200 pounds. Well, did I notice a difference back then? It was like, oh my God, you're not like Katai at all. That was pretty different. So I'm actually glad we didn't have to go very far. But anyway, Katai just has no problem in the back of the bike. In fact, now with the backrest, she can, I don't know, has a hard time staying awake. So, but she's very comfortable, and we're planning on doing lots of travel with that motorcycle. Uh, and I know it's only a 350, but it moves along at the speed limit, no problem. Even 110, no problem. It'll go, actually, yeah, it'll go faster than that, but it'll do that all day. And yeah, Lance, absolutely, the best way to see Thailand is on a motorcycle. And I absolutely agree. Every time I'm driving the car down a road, and I'm thinking to myself, this would be so much better on a motorcycle, so much better. So, I mean, in America, they talk about the tail of the dragon, which is down in the Blue Mountains, Tennessee way, and so forth. Some of you from America will know what I'm talking about. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous countryside. I have not been fortunate enough to do that. It was on my bucket list. Unfortunately, that's a story in itself. Getting insurance when you have heart problems and so forth, getting insurance to go down into the States is considerably more difficult. But we basically they talk about the tail of the dragon, which is like 15, 20 miles of curves that are just keep you on your toes. Well, here we have hundreds of thousands of kilometers of the tail of the dragon, and I mean, there are roads where going into the mountains, there are no straight roads. Thing about in Canada and America, they'll cut through a mountain and make a road straight, where you know here in Thailand, they say, no, we'll just go around the mountain. So lots of curves, lots of curves. So you put on more than 15,000 kilometers on your Forza in 2 years. Well, I'm up to three. I'm a little over three. I think I looked at 3,200 kilometers already on the force or on the ADV. So makes the dragon go to Chiang Mai, makes the dragon tail look straight. Yeah, Lance, go to Nan, go to Nan, go to northern Nan. There is a place called Whisper Monk. I've got a video on it, an early video where we went in the car, and you want to talk about curves, up, down, round, 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 and it's just relentless. And we are thinking we just might do that. And well, I have all the camera gear set up on the ADV, so we do that. We'll obviously be doing some videos. I mean, that's the name of the game here, is to do videos and put them out. Um, so we only use the Forza. We only use the Forza only for long trips. Never ride it around town. What do you ride around town? Oh, you must have a smaller scooter. I mean, when we go to little towns, we've rented a Click or something, 160. But you know, I know that Kale is did I say that right? Kale, your wife is Kale. She's a small lady too, compared to Katai. So, and you're not that small either. So, so you're not as big as me, but you're good size too, Lance. So yeah, but if we had, I mean, I use the ADV because that's what I had. And I don't think twice of jumping on it. And last night, Katai and I went into our little local restaurant for pad thai, and then stopped and picked up a couple of things, and we don't think twice. We just get onto it. You have a Royal Enfield Meteor for day trips, or the Scoopy for around town. Yeah, I looked at a Scoopy. I don't really want to get on a Scoopy. But a Royal Enfield Meteor. That the single cylinder, the 350 cc's, or is that the twin cylinder 600 cc? I've looked at the Royal Enfield. That's a very nice little motorcycle. Again, some point in my future, I'll be looking at another motorcycle. But right now it's camera gear. Camera gear. I have an i12, and I'm looking at upgrading it. And well, the i16 is it's a ton of money. It is an absolute ton of money. But also I noticed CJ he has a gimbal, and I've seen them, and so because I want to do more, live shows where I go places, because looking behind me is pretty boring. So unless I manage to keep my brain salad to a minimum. I try to keep people engaged. Where if you're doing a live show on site, well, at least you can you can see what's going on behind you. And speaking of that, one of the reasons, other than when we went on the motorcycle trip in Krabi, which worked out really well once we actually got started. I know, Lance, you were there. I think Brock was there. Quite a few people from our little group were there. And you get to see what's going on. So on the back of the motorcycle is not a bad idea, especially with Katai. She can handle the phone, especially if we get a nice gimbal, and with a remote microphone, I can jack away and we can go from there. But the last time we were in Chiang Mai, we checked with we took our niece out to lunch and wanted to see how her finger was from her accident, which is doing really well. She's actually, she showed me it's like, she could have easily had that cut off at a knuckle, but it's going to heal. Whether she ends up with a proper fingernail or not, that remains to be seen. But like I say, she's a very lucky woman, to run into the back of a Toyota truck and without a helmet and not die. But anyway, I asked her. I said we took her for lunch and to one of our favorite little spots. Done a video on it down in Old Town, Chiang Mai. Noodles and duck. So I said, "What do you want to do?" She says, "I want to go to the Chiang Mai night safari." I go, "Okay, where's that?" So we punch it into the GPS, and so we go to this place. Now it's just on the outskirts of Chiang Mai, and it's a very large. Morning, CJ. I've been talking about you for a little bit. Nothing good. Nothing good. But anyway, we have talked about you. Um, no, that's not true. But at any rate, this compound, it's huge, covers many acres. There's like lion safari. We went into it's a big lake, and you can walk around the whole lake, and it's about a kilometer walk. You think, okay, that's another walk, but the truth is, you're walking from one compound, set up with animals, to the next. So you're always stopping. So it takes a couple hours. Now, I did the video. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? At any rate, and it would be perfect. We went into they've got an enclosure you walk in, which is air conditioned, and all the lions are behind the glass, and of course we went in the afternoon, and of course for those that lions are nocturnal animals, so they were all lazing around. They were obviously well fed, and but you get to see every possible lion that's out there, and it's amazing. And some of them are right on the glass, so that video's coming out. But I'm thinking, boy, I should have, this would have been a perfect place to do a live show. So at some point in the future, I will, like I say, even after I've done the video, we'll be in Chiang Mai, and I hopefully we'll have the proper gear set up, and we'll do a live show walking around that, because it was pretty impressive. And again, instead of listening to me ramble on, you can see the animals, and makes it worthwhile. So camera gear is my next big investment before another motorcycle. I like to say I'd like to um, upgrade to a new phone. My friend's wife Tammy has a new i16, and the quality of her camera compared to mine, it's like day and night. So, yes, Lance, that's the whole idea, you know, getting hours. So the quality of the camera is, you know, yeah, lions, yay, stand back and let someone stand in front to be the bait. Well, like I say, some of them were walking around pretty. They weren't really irate, but they were, putting on a good show for the people. Putting a good show for the people. So, but yeah, so the new camera, new phone is on, in the gimbal. CJ, I was talking about your gimbal. I'm pretty sure you have the DJI gimbal, Osmo gimbal, something like that. And I'm going to look into. I like the idea of the gimbal. It keeps the camera steady while you're walking. So that and another camera, probably. I'd really like a real camera. Um, I've seen some of the gears. Yeah, Osmo 3. Thanks, CJ. A good camera that you can take good stills, take good video, and zoom in and zoom out. But I probably will buy I have the DJI 4 Pro, Osmo 4. And I probably will upgrade that and buy a 5 because, well, you can't have enough cameras. So Lance, you have a gimbal too. So is yours the Osmo 3 too? Um, so again, that's my in the next 6 months. Those are my wish list to continue to film and try and put out a quality video because that's well, I'm in this for the long haul, and I want to make sure that at least there's something you can enjoy watching. The Osmo 4 and 5 are the same. They all do the same thing. Yeah, the 5. If you've seen the 5, the DJI 5 Osmo, it's got some little extra features that I may be interested in doing. So, I'm not planning on getting rid of any of it. So, but after that, I might look at upgrading motorcycles and so forth. Um, for those that are in the know, I have a Harley Davidson back in Canada that I cannot sell. It's just sad. It's sitting outside of Ottawa at a mechanic's place who has a showroom. He's a Harley man, and it's on consignment in his showroom. It's a 2016 Harley Davidson Street Glide, beautiful cosmic blue, stage one. I put it up for sale when I got back to Canada last uh, May. Put it up for sale right away. And it was a joke. No one is buying Harley Davidsons. The economy right now in Canada is absolutely in the dumpster. There's a little more to it too. Apparently, Harley Davidson decided to pull a faux pas. But again, that's a whole nother story. But yes, it's too big to ride here. I mean, but I drive down the road and a Harley passes me, and I always get that little feeling in your stomach going, yeah, okay, if I only had it here. So yeah, it's a little big to ride here, but and yes, there's quite a few that do have it. Yeah, Harley went woke. Yeah, Harley did. Yeah, Harley pulled a pulled a boner, and we're all paying for it. So, um, but at any rate, it's it basically, unfortunately, I can't seem to sell it. So it's still sitting there. I had it up for sale for $20,000, and when I first put it up for sale, and that price kept dropping, dropping, and now if someone wants it, I'll sell it to them for $10,000, which is crazy considering 25 or 3 years ago was $25,000. What can I say? What can I say? Video that's coming up very soon. A video that's coming up very soon. Route 66. Uh, yeah, we have two Route 66. We have one in Chiang Mai, one in Pattaya. Andy is the owner, and I met him at Route 66 in Chiang Mai when we were there. And he does the big bike tours. And the big bike tour shop is right connected to the restaurant. And I did a walk through that. Now he has BMWs, Kawasaki's. Surprisingly, I didn't see any Hondas there, Lance. And of course, the Honda 650 is, 500 650 is probably the next motorcycle I will buy so that I can go on long trips. But at any rate, it was pretty cool walking through his showroom. They do, like I said, they do a bike tour. I'd be motoring along, whether in the car or on the motorcycle, and these guys would fly by me like I was standing still. And you can hear them coming. There'd be 4, 5, 6, 7 of them at a time. Now, not all of them are from his tour, but a lot of them are, and they tour all over Thailand, and that's one of the things I'm going to be doing probably in the new year. Is doing a tour, taking one of the tours to Vietnam. I have to look into the total cost, see what's going to cost, and see what's all involved. I understand that Lucas from Ride for Kicks will be attending a tour through Vietnam. I need to contact him. I'm hoping very much to connect with him and do that trip together. I think some joint videos together will won't make a big difference on his channel, because he has oodles and oodles of subscribers, but it might make a difference on mine. So again, Bike Week is December 13th, 14th in Ho Hin. Yeah, I'm not going to make it this year, Lance, but maybe next year. I would like very. I told Katai, I said we're going to ride the motorcycle down to Ho Hin, and she just looked at me. And of course I said it in English, but she got enough of it that she looks at me and thinking, that is 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 he serious? You want to ride a motorcycle that far? I'm going, yeah, I am serious. So, like I say, there's no better way to see Thailand than on the back of a motorcycle. So, but yeah. Hey, Scott, welcome from New Zealand. Nice for you to pop in and say hello. I'm not sure when you're planning on making it here, but when you do, make sure you let us know, and we will hopefully point you in a direction that is good for you. So I see the other guys all know you too, so that's good. Uh, yeah, CJ, I know you and Maui Lance are in Ho Hin, and like I say, at some point, we will find our way there. I was quite impressed with Katai's bag of makeup. She got her bag of makeup down to a small little bag. And it's like, okay, that's really good, because when I first met her, she was carrying a big box. And it's like, okay, uh, she's got her down to a little bag, and well, I'll give her one side. Well, maybe I'll give her the back box and one side for all her stuff, and I'll have, my stuff in the other side back. But yeah, if she get her makeup down to one little bag, that'd be good. And we'll go from there, and then we'll start our trip. Like I said, we're gonna go at the end of this month. Going to probably go for 3 days, and we'll see how that works. And if 3 days is good, we might be able to push it to 4 days, and 4 days is acceptable. Next thing, I'll go for 2 weeks, and then when she's sort of acclimatized to the idea, then Who hin we come. So I don't know if I've talked about the weather here. The temperature here is 21 degrees. I've noticed notice it's getting cooler because the water in the shower is getting colder. You got I like to turn the heater on full. For those that don't know, the bulk of the showers, hot water in Thailand comes from a on-demand heater that's usually in the bathroom, and I like to turn it on full. But now the water is starting to get cool too. There's a big holding tank outside the house, so it is it's acceptable to the temperature, so it cools down. So I'm finding that definitely a difference too. So I have to turn the flow down a little bit just to get the hot water. So yes, we're definitely coming into cool the cool part of the year. Coming in March for holidays, where you live, going to Chiang Rai, see my mate. Well, Scott, if you're going to Chiang Rai, then you should definitely look me up. Chiang Rai is not that far from where I live, and depending on how you're going to travel, I'm sure we can work something out and get to meet. Speaking of travel, yeah, hot water. Welcome to Thailand. Speaking of travel, I'm going to be starting my train series soon. I know I've said it before, and I still haven't done it. I've done some video taping already, some some drone work. The high-speed train is going right through my backyard. And you'll see in the videos, you'll see where it heads right to the mountains, and they're going to be drilling a hole right through the mountain. And this train line, it will be a double train line, obviously, will connect to Chiang Mai, and will actually carry on and right to Chiang Rai and through um, I guess Laos, and then in Vietnam, and eventually at some point it'll make it to China. But it will go all the way down to Bangkok, and apparently it won't be up and running with a train for another 5-6 years. But they are going full tilt building the rail system, and so I've been videotaping it, and I will be starting that series soon. And when that is set up, it takes about a little over 3 hours to drive from here to Chiang Mai if you're a very careful driver. And some of the roads are not the best of roads, especially there's a mountain pass that we go through. I have a video of that I put out, motorcycle drone tour, and you can see me going through that pass on the motorcycle, and you can tell that it's not a safe pass. You have to be on your toes all the time. Anyway, that when that train is finished, you'll be able to get on the train here, and the train station is not even a mile away, like a little over 2 kilometers away from my house. And you'll be able to get on that train, and you'll be able to go to Chiang Mai in 45 minutes. 45 minutes compared to 3 hours on car, and you just sit and relax. And when you get there, well, you can rent a motorcycle. You can do just about. There's all kinds of ways to get around in Chiang Mai. So that's going to make all the difference. And if you want to, so I mean, an afternoon in Chiang Mai is possible. You just get on in the morning and go to do your business and come back in the evening. And even Bangkok, I haven't got actual numbers, and at some point I will. But I'm expecting 2.5, 3 hours from here to Bangkok. on the high-speed train, the train will be moving at speeds of 200, 250 kilometers per hour. Yes, Scott, I am Canadian. Can't you tell by the accent? I'm from the Valley. I'm a Valley boy from the Ottawa Valley in Ontario. Uh, um, so yeah, you 3 hours into Bangkok. So yeah, that's going to make a big difference when that high-speed train is up and running in 5-6 years. That's going to change a lot of things here in Thailand. You could be able to get around pretty quick uh, compared to well, like I say, we can fly, but I mean, yeah, yeah, Canada. Yeah, you can sing it later when we see in person. So yeah, it's even like say I know it doesn't take much to fly, and it's pretty cheap to fly from here and there, but you still got to get to an airport. And in my case, I'm in Pair. There's an airport in Pair, but it's not doesn't have any domestic flights out of it. So the nearest airport to fly domestically is Nan, which is an hour and a half away, or Chiang Mai, which is again 3 hours away. So flying is great, but once that train is up and running, and especially in my case because it goes right through my backyard, so it makes quite a difference. Canada rules, been there twice, Halifax, Toronto, and Vancouver. Well, two of those places are nice to visit. One of them is they think is the center of the universe. And although I lived in Ottawa and I'm only about 4 hours away from Toronto. Um, I've gone through to different places. London. Port Dover. Port Dover is it's down towards London. Is right on the lake. They've done motorcycle tours there. They have the Friday the 13th motorcycle tour. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we've done that, and we've also done that tour, and then done the tour down through New York, Buffalo, and yeah, that's a really nice ride, uh, motorcycle ride. So, but still not as nice as riding up here. Uh, you go to Toronto often when I'm home in the U.S. Why, Lance? No. I mean, if you get on a car in the beginning of Toronto, the GTA of Toronto, it'll take you an entire day to drive across it. And it's like, so, you get to where you want to go. Yeah, Detroit is only 4 or 5 hours. Is that where you're from? Are you from Detroit? No, go Wings, go Wings. You know, so our Daniel Alfreson, played for the Wings for a little while before he came back to Ottawa to live for the rest of his life, and but anyway, yeah, I didn't know you're from Detroit. Oh, go Lions! Yes, I hear they're doing really well. It's I'm kind of miss. That's about the only thing I'm missing. Um, I guess I guess I might as well just tell you I'm a Browns fan, and they're not doing too well. So ever since they screwed up and got rid of Baker Mayfield, they've been going the dumpsters. So uh, yes, Scott. Only 10 million bought. The pension is more than enough for you to pretty much live anywhere in Thailand, and get yourself fully set up and have a great life. Yeah, without a doubt. There's obviously going to be hurdles along the way that you need to be aware of. But that's yeah, and live like a king. And yes, you will. Yes, you will. Again, depending on those hurdles, and we can talk about them later. It all. Unfortunately, many a single man here come to Thailand and got themselves caught up into those hurdles, and they can go through their money pretty fast. I mean, even myself here, I went through a lot of money just getting set up. The first year here. Only now that we're done, I can sit back and start doing a budget, and determine what it's going to cost to live here. Because, like I say, I'm on a pension just like everyone else, and it's not huge. But I did have a chunk of money to get set up, and I've done that. I had to buy the motorcycle. We did the renovation, and of course, I bought all the furniture when I was in Chiang Mai. So yes, I've spent a fair amount of money the first year. Several million baht, to be truthful. And I got what I needed, and I'm now set up. I can live normal life now, and that's it. Yes, you're very welcome. You can take me to lunch. Keep away from the women. Absolutely. Uh, you find the right woman, you'll be all right. I got to say that you might be able to find the well, Lance might argue, the second, third best woman in Thailand, because we got the first, and actually Dave Clark might argue that maybe the fourth best. So, but they're out there. Like I say, all depends on your tastes, and all depends on other things. So, but yeah, um, if you're looking to live here yeah, Lance, you're very right. Women are the same all over the world. Uh, um, but if you're looking to live well, and you're got a level head, and you want to live in a paradise, and it truly is. You can do really well here. And there's places that you can live that that are busy. I mean, when I was in Krabi, we I enjoyed Krabi. I really did. Like, I highly recommend, if you're one of your first experiences of coming to Thailand, you know, if you're and make sure you're not coming for just you're only coming for 2 weeks. Sure, come to Krabi. If you're you know, but no one should come to Thailand for a 2 week period. Should be at least a month, or two, because there's so much to see. So, I mean, and if you go to Krabi for 2 weeks and you go away, you're not going to get the real experience of Thailand. You need to get out of these commercial places, and that's one of the things I found with Krabi. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And because I live here in Thailand, we know where to look to find the locals, and get local food. But yeah, I found it quite commercialized, and in my videos, I have no problem, no qualm saying that. But I enjoyed the Western food that I can't necessarily get here in Paris, and that was a nice change. But yeah, it's funny. Katai talked about that mountain. We climbed that mountain, and she said locals don't climb that mountain. They leave that to the silly foreigners. Hey, Dave, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Watch your live show the other day, with your trailer, and you know, um, Dave likes to camp, uh, but likes to go camping. But I think you need to add G in front of that. He likes to glamp. He has a nice trailer. He likes to set up the tent, but he has a nice trailer, nice comfy trailer, and he's got his motorcycle. He's got a great little ramp to put his motorcycle in the back of the trailer, and and he likes to get out and see places. I mean, well, I tell you, there's no doubt about it. There's so many places that you can go. There's a lot of places that are resorts that are tents, and you can glamp just everywhere. Personally, like I say, I'm just getting here for a year. I'm just getting situated. Dave's been here for several years. So yeah. He also has a Forza. At some point, he lives down in Surrey. A lot of the guys live down that way. And at some point, we're going to get together. Dave exactly. He's about 3 years older than I am. You think he's 68, and he's got the same last name as mine. Only he's missing an E. That makes him an English descent, where I'm Scottish descent. In the 16th century, we'd probably be looking at each other across the battlefield, and it would be interesting because we both weigh the same amount, 260 pounds. So we both love to eat. There's no doubt. At some point, Dave and I will shake hands, just like a lot of the guys that are on here. Hopefully, at some point, we'll all shake hands. So, but anyway. Uh, where Somebody tell me where I was. I just get off on reading my messages and so forth. But at any rate, um, so I will probably maybe next year look at upgrading to a Honda 650 or 500 650 for doing longer trips, but I'm more than happy with the ADV for now. Yeah, so I've covered quite a bit. We're an hour and 21 minutes in. Uh, so um, so Scott, you're going to come to Chiang Rai. Beautiful place. My friend Les from Retired Living the Dream, he's going to Chiang Rai for New Year's. He's going to another place a little farther north. Bang Rang, not exactly sure. He's going to Pai. I haven't been to Pai. I want to take the motorcycle and go to Pai. So it'll be another 3 or 4 day trip. So I'll ask him about it. I'm sure he's going to do a video on it when he gets back. So Scott, you're coming in March. Well, March is pretty hot, and Chiang Rai, it's also smoky season. So yeah, you'll be okay. The good news is it'll be hot, but it'll be dry and it'll be smoky. And it's not just from Thailand, it's from the neighboring countries also. But, how long are you coming for? Are you coming for a couple of weeks? You coming for a couple of months? How long does it take to fly from New Zealand to Thailand? It probably wouldn't be anywhere near what we have to endure in order to fly to America, fly to Canada. So it's a long, expensive flight to fly to Canada from here. That's why we don't do it too often. In fact, I'm not really planning on doing it for a long time if I can help it. A long time. So 13 hours. Well, it's still a good. That'd be direct, eh? That'd be a direct flight. So yeah, that's our longest flight from. We have 3 flights. We usually have 3 flights coming from Canada. One's a very short hop to one of the bigger airports, and then it's a 13-hour flight to either Japan or Taiwan, and then it's a 6-hour flight from one of those places to Bangkok. Of course, in my case, once you get to Bangkok, then you have to leave the international airport and make your way to the domestic airport, and then get on a plane again. So I have a video called 4 Flights to Nan, What Could Go Wrong? And if you haven't seen that video, well, it ends with a heart attack. So if you have an extra 15 minutes to watch, check it out. But I'm here, so that's the good news. So I made it. So well, when you get here, Scott, let us know. I'm sure we can find some way to connect. You were talking about Ban Rai, which is down. It's in between Pattaya, Jomtien, and Rayong. Great area down by the water. If you like the ocean, which most people do, yeah. The only thing I find, if you're living down by the ocean, and it's like everything, you get used to being there, and so Bang Sarai, Sarah, I think it's you know, um, but. But it's you get used to it, and the that feeling goes away. You just it's just like, okay, it's the ocean. Where if you're up where we are and then you take a trip down to the ocean, it's like new and you enjoy it. So not saying that one or the other is the better. I know that when I first came to Thailand, or I was first planning on coming to Thailand, I had several places that I was going to possibly live. I didn't know Katai at the time. A good friend, a good friend, a friend, connected me with her online, but before then, I'd been watching. I had several channels that I watched, and learning about wanting to live in Chiang in Thailand, and of course one of the places was Ho Hin. Another place was Rayong, because that's where Les lives. Jumten Beach, Chiang Mai, even Chiang Rai. So these were several places that I was looking at, the cost, where it would cost, the cost of living. Your cost of living in Rayong, uh, probably very much the same. I'm not sure who I think Les was in Ho Hin not that long ago, and he was saying that the prices haven't changed much, but they've caught up with different areas of Thailand. So, you think, okay, Ho Hin was considered a little bit more expensive. I mean, if you really want to go where it's really expensive, like I say, you go down to Phuket, or go to Krabi. And again, the problem again with that, you can go there. I had talked earlier. It's very commercialized, so it costs a little bit more. In fact, it costs considerably more compared to, say, where I live in Pair. But and you don't have the immersion of the full Thai culture as you do when you get up closer to Isan and northern Thailand, like we have here. So you're 58, Scott. So yeah, you're right around. Well, like you qualify for a retirement visa, and if you are retired, then, well, if you're retired, don't just get your butt over here. You have enough money to make some mistakes, and still land on your feet. And it's I've been here a year. This is home. This is home. You need to come here for more than 3-4 months. I mean, I came for 6 months, and I got you got the real feeling of living in Thailand. You can't just come for even a month. I mean, you can come now and stay 2 months. You can get extension. Can't get pension until you're 65. Yeah, well, I hear you. I was in the same boat. Absolutely in the same boat. I kept watching. Okay, as soon as I'm turned 65, I'm gone. I'm I'm heading to Thailand as soon as I can. But so you've been to Thailand 5 times. So you've got yeah, you got you got 6, 7 more years to wait it out. So well, if you got long enough holidays, then again, it's you're considerably closer to Thailand than I was. So you can come here several times. Like I say, you've been here 5 times. I came once, first time. That was it. I came once. It was like, okay, pack up, go. And but I'd made that decision a long time ago that Thailand was my destination. I mean, I looked at the Philippines. I even looked at Cuba. I have a good friend of mine, and who has he has a Cuban connection, uh, and he has a when I say Cuban connection, it's no different than here in Thailand. You can't you can't own um, you can't own property in Cuba, but what you can do is you can basically buy a house through a Cuban who's allowed to have more than one home. And so he basically has he's built a house on the back of a Cuban's house, and he lives outside of Hoging, in a place called Playa Blanca. I've been there. I've been there a couple of times, and but but anyway, I thought about that. I thought, well, I'd live there for 6 months and go back to Canada 6 months. So, but you know, but someone like quite the adventure, Dave. Oh, okay, yeah. So, um, but anyway, yeah, Cuba turned out not to be the case, and South America, like Colombia, well, you know what? If you can afford to go for a visit, um, go there and get the experience. I've been in Nicaragua. I went to Nicaragua, which is right beside Costa Rica. I went to Nicaragua in 2007. I was 47 years old. Actually, I went with my church. I went and I built we put a roof on a school in Nicaragua. So I went basically for 2 weeks, and I would work in the morning while it was cool. And then we would travel around the city of Managua and learn about the culture. You wouldn't want to go to Nicaragua right now. The political unrest there is quite prevalent, which you get a lot in South America. The problem with South America, besides the fact that other than its absolute beautiful place and beautiful people and so forth, it's the politics. It's the people that are in power. They want to be in power, and they will. It's a dangerous place to live, and I'm sure there's many places. Like if you go to Mexico, you go to Cancun and so forth, they tell you do not leave the resort. I mean, if you're going for a holiday, you want to go sit on a beach, you want to go to the resort, well, that's fine. It's not does not give you the real experience of being in South America or being in one of these other countries. Now, when I went to Cuba, the crime in Cuba is relatively low. And again, we had connections to the locals, and we were able to travel around to the local towns and so forth. And then you really see the oppression in Cuba. It's a sad thing. Unfortunately, and until that changes, yeah, that country is going to continue to suffer. And personally, my knowledge, my history, I'm sure someone with more experience could definitely argue me into the ground. So I mean, I can't I can't say a whole lot about it other than what I've seen, and that's that. But yeah, go visit, and there's nothing like having knowledge, firsthand knowledge, and then help you decide where you want to go. And that's it. It's the same with the Philippines. I could have gone to uh, coffee time. See you, Dave. Retired. Don't give up. And all here in the chat. Yeah. Um, I could have gone to the Philippines, and language, English is prevalent there. So yeah, I mean, English is not prevalent here unless you're in some of these larger places. Like I say, if you're in Krabi, I have no problem talking that finding people speak English. And they said, oh yeah, in Chiang Mai, you have no problem finding people that speak English, and that's not necessarily true. But still, yeah, if that's a concern, the Philippines is certainly a place. But again, same deal. You know, the crime in the Philippines is considerably higher. And I can tell you, you know, the big thing about here in Thailand, as far as crime is concerned, is the punishment. The punishment for crime in Thailand is severe. Well, someone local has been arrested for having some guns, and that person's going to jail for a long time. Just possession of illegal guns. Again, the thing is, if you are in a country and you keep your nose clean and so forth, and you're not into those shady dealings, you're fine. Absolutely fine. You can walk around at night and not worry at all about crime. We were in Nan last February on our way to Whisper Nug, and we were walking through the city. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and we walked through the commercial area of the city, heading back to the hotel. There's a video on it, and at no point do you feel that that you're being watched, or there's any possibility of any wrongdoings happening, any crime. It's just not there. Um, um, and maybe I'm naive. Maybe I am. Some of you have more experience and want to share that with me. I'm certainly fine with listening. So, but as far as crime is concerned, Thailand is probably one of the best places to live. So, uh, so you're on your way, CJ? No, so good for you to drop in. Thanks very much. We're at an hour and 37. We're getting close. I have 7 people still watching, and I'm definitely rambling on. It's almost 20 to 10. So I'm going to probably close it out pretty soon. Anyone got Dave? Are you still there? So not sure if you've popped in or popped out, but anyway, we'll talk soon. I want to thank all of my guys from the line, from the group, that keep an eye on what's going on. We haven't had any silly people popping in, which is really good. Have you seen any snakes? There's a question. Um, yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Um, in a on a whole, no. When I was in Chiang Mai, we would ride our bikes. I would see cobras that were dead on the road, and I know that my stepson has roosters and chickens, and of course I said to him, I said, "So does that mean we're going to have fresh eggs?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, the roosters, are we going to have turkey dinner?" I said, "No, no, the roosters are for fighting," and I've done a video on that. But I said, "So why not fresh eggs?" He says, "Well," he says, the cobras have got them. So yeah. So Jake says, "Snakes are everywhere. I've seen them in the village all the time." Yeah, I hear that. So they're here. So I know there was one outside the door somewhere, and I never saw 'em. So they keep to themselves. I did watch a video during the flood. Trying to think of the guy's name, and they found a huge boa constrictor, you know, down off the Ping River. So that was something to watch. Um, I don't have any fear of snakes, so it doesn't seem to be a bother. If you do have a fear of snakes, then I wouldn't use fear of snakes for not coming to Thailand. I wouldn't, they're here, but I don't see them as a prevalent problem. But again, if you have a distinct fear, well, then that might be an issue. What we do find is, tree frogs and so forth. They find their way into the bathroom, and there are certain bugs and so forth, and geckos everywhere. Gecko poop everywhere. Gecko shit. So we have bugs, but do you know what we don't have? The last video that I'm coming out of the Emerald Pool. So I imagine the childhood in Florida was wild. 27 snakes to include a red-tailed boa constrictor from South America. Well, there you go. You like snakes, and if you like snakes, well, why not? So, but one of my last videos of the honeymoon, the video's done, but I won't be putting it out for a couple days. One of my videos, I'm walking through this beautiful artificial bridge walkway through the woods. It's absolutely gorgeous. But and I've said it before, it's the absence um, of bugs. I mean, I sit out on my balcony and have a cigar, and the two lights are there, and they attract flies, and lots of geckos like to sit around the light so they can eat the flies, and there are bats that fly around that eat them too. But I mean, nighttime and the lights on. Usually in Canada, you better have screens. In Canada, you know, pretty much anywhere unless you're right smack in the middle of the city, the flies, the mosquitoes, the bugs find you. They find you. Not here, not here. I'm walking through this path in the middle of a jungle, and I stop, and I mention it. It's like there's no bugs. It's amazing. So you don't have those snakes any longer, Jake? Well, I I have a fun story of my previous marriage. My ex brother-in-law, big man, I would stand behind him and I would disappear. He was a big man, 6 foot, 6'3", and big, huge man, and absolutely deathly afraid of snakes. You mention a snake and he's gone. So we're out at his parents' cottage, and his sister is quite a prankster. And Dave his name is Dave. He's gone out fishing, so he's out in the middle. He's out in the middle of the lake, in the rowboat, and his sister comes up to me and giggling, and I look at her. So, Karen, what's going on? He says, "Watch the boat. Watch the boat." I put a snake in the boat. And no sooner did she say that, suddenly he stands up and he dives out of the boat, swims to shore, leaves the boat in the middle of the lake. It's like, and he's furious. He's going to kill her. He's going to kill her. So yeah, there's a story. CDC, you don't have Mang Mu after it rains in pits. They swarm after the rain. Um, no, not. I'd have to say, no, not really. The mangoes, they're a really tiny little fly, right? I know that I remember one night getting out in Chiang Mai, when it was getting late. I would go out and didn't have glasses on, when I was on the motorcycle, and got a face full of those flies and get in your eyes and so forth, if that's what they are. So, but yeah, no, not no, no, they are like big termites. They're like big termites. Um, well, I'm looking at a bug up on the wall right now. He's got long feelers, but he's not really a termite. He's not really bothering anyone. Yeah, I'm going to say no. Jake, take a pic. If you see one, take a picture for me and send it on our line. Just, and say, here, Dave, here's what I'm talking about, you silly man. Then I might have a better idea. They come out of the soil after it rains. Well, I'm on the second floor, so maybe don't see them. Uh, and of course, it hasn't rained now in what, 2 weeks, but boy, oh boy, when it rains here, people, when it rains, it rains. It just comes down like a solid sheet where you're looking out the window and you can't see, you can't see 300 yards. It's like just everything's gone. That's why then we have them at the farmhouse. Yeah, the fruit in Thailand is cheap. We have an orchard here on the property, with mangoes and a few other fruits. Jackfruit, if you like jackfruit. I can't quite come to liking jackfruit. And they become very large and bothersome. So yeah, great great fruit here on the property. So and we just knocked down all they cut everything back and to start growing better. So we'll see how that works. But unfortunately, I hear all this noise, this chopping, and I go out, and it's just before the wedding, and here they're cutting all the trees down, and so that they can promote growth. And I'm looking at her and going, could you not have waited, 2 weeks till after the wedding to do that? Now it looks like a tornado went through the property. We have these empty trees. I'm just here. I'm just the guy who pays for everything, and so sometimes I have some input, but yeah, basically, I'm retired, so I just go with the flow, and so you love the durian. Yeah, I haven't tried that, Jake. It's like apparently the smell. That's the one that smells bad, right? I haven't tried that. I'm not. Takes me a while to warm up to some exotic fruits. I mean, I'm not a big. I like your basic apples, strawberries, oranges, and I'm just starting to enjoy mangoes. It's but it doesn't smell. It's a special species, so that's not the one that stinks. Okay, so well, if I see it, I'll have to try it. So, but yeah, some of the fruits takes me a while. I can't stand lemon, can't stand lime. Ah, here's an amazing thing. Um, I never liked pineapple. From as a child, I never liked pineapple. And I remember I was in Nicaragua, and I was staying with a host family. And they were having pineapple, and they offered me pineapple. And I said, no, I don't eat pineapple. I said the only way I would eat pineapple is if you cut it fresh off the tree, and then I would try it. Well, he walked out the backyard, cut one off the tree, and came in, chopped it up, and handed it to me. And I said, well, I guess I got to try this. So I tried it, still did not like it. So that was 10, 15 years ago. Well, I got to say, I guess as you get older, things change. We were we were in a restaurant where there was some fresh pineapple, and somehow I tried it, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this isn't what I'm used to. This is not what I remember. So, so yeah, as we get older, so yeah, I would try. I would try that. Just like I say, go out to Pitchillock, and that's where that's where it's from. Well, we were down in Sokotai. I got a couple of videos of Sokotai. We went to the park, the historical park there of the temples. I'll be doing a video, be putting out a video soon on that. Got some great drone footage. That was kind of funny. I showed up with the drone, and they said, no, you can't fly drone here. I said, what do you mean you can't fly a drone here? No, you can't fly drone. I said, where's the office? So we go to the office. I go in and I put my license in front of them. Here's my license. And the thing is, what people don't, like if you're from out of Thailand and you bring your drone into Thailand and you want to fly it, well, there is a specific license you have to get where you're living here in Thailand if you want to fly a drone in national parks and so forth. Well, I bought my drone here at Big Camera, and they were going through an incredible amount of paperwork in order to buy this drone. I'm thinking, I bought a house with less paperwork than this, and then they wanted 1,500 baht. They wanted 1,500 baht, and I'm thinking, okay, what's this? And it turns out that was a special license in order to allow you to fly drones in more restricted areas. And so yeah, we went to the office, showed him my license, filled out all the forms, had to give him 500 baht, but then we went out and we flew the drone, and a couple of people came to me and said, you can't fly drones here. I said, yeah, you might not be able to, but I can. And so we got some amazing footage. So that video is coming up soon. So hope you enjoy that. There's a few videos coming. So yeah, hope you enjoy them. Okay, we're coming on to 2 hours. There's still 6 of you watching. Thank you very much. I mean, I think it's amazing that some of you have waited it out. Of course, if you're in Canada, of course it's 10 o'clock at night on a Monday night. So for you in Canada that have stuck it out, thanks very much. Listening to my ramble. There will be a couple of videos coming out very soon. I'll be putting out another video today of an amazing dinner that we had when we were in Krabi, seafood restaurant. It was a lot of fun. Had to go down and pick out my food. It was in the fresh tank, and lobsters and crabs and something watching them chase a lobster around that pond, that pool. It was yeah, those little buggers can move. So that was fun. Please enjoy that video. That'll be coming out later today. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate it greatly. Yeah, dentist is cheap. Had a filling 500 baht. Yeah, I went to the dentist last week. I had a filling and a cleaning for 2,300 baht. Katai had her teeth whitened for 3,000 baht. And so yeah, that was it's dentist pretty cheap. Yeah, I could go on for a long time talking about how much money I've spent in Canada at the dentist. More money than more money than any of you could ever imagine. We're talking into the tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars. I have 4 implants and I have 6 crowns. So that's just an example. Anyway, don't get me started on dentists is in Canada, dental costs. But yes, you can go to a very modern dentist here in Thailand, get everything you need, and the cost is more than reasonable. I mean, I suppose if you're in Canada and you have full coverage, if you're a government worker, then you know, and your coverage is covered. But if you're not, you're paying the price. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, you know. I hate teeth. So, well, something we all have. You know, not all of them are our own, but yeah. All right, everybody. Just short of 2 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I'm going to put an end to this now. I'm going to send out my last little ending clip. Thank you very much for joining. Watch my little clip for the ending, and we'll probably see you in a week. We'll do another video, and we'll see, or another live show, and maybe I'll have something more to talk about. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Song Tower, drone Charlie Delta Charlie on approach from live show, requesting clearance for landing on Taiwan. Until next time, bye for now. Remember,
drone Charlie Delta Charlie, Song Tower, good show. You are cleared for landing on Taiwan.